My name is Scott Cothran. I am from Nashville, Tennessee. I joined the Metro Nashville Police Department in 1999 and ended up retiring in 2015. Journey into the police work, I grew up, my father was a detective. When I was younger, he was an officer, but then being a detective for many years with Metro Nashville Police. So my entire life was really just, I wanted to do everything he did. And so I really was just, my whole life was kind of trained to go into police work. I was very young when I started, 21 years old. So a lot of the things that, you experience in police work, the traumas and stuff, they're nothing I'd ever dealt with before. But I loved every minute of it. I loved every bit of the job. I loved, the chases and all that kind of stuff. And it was just, it was a really good, it still was when I retired, but I absolutely loved everything about it. From the early years, alcohol was a problem for me. And I can't say that police work made me an alcoholic. It definitely didn't help. And then so what had happened was, for me, it became a way to forget or deal with the things that I saw, things that the death and all that kind of stuff. Because at night, like when I was alone, that's when I would think about that stuff in my head, and I just couldn't get it to go away. So, alcohol was what I used to quiet down those things. I do not think it was encouraged. I absolutely think it was normalized. It was just something that we did. That culture, that's been in that culture for a long time. It's definitely acceptable. I think it got worse as the years went on, and, I saw more and more, we did more and more stuff. It really became a problem for me after my father passed away from alcoholism. I was probably around 31 years old, been on the department maybe 10 years, and it really took off at that point, which might sound crazy, but that's the way it was. And then I always knew it was a problem, but I don't think I was convinced that I couldn't control it, and then when it got to the point that I thought I couldn't control it anymore, I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know where to go. I was scared to talk to anybody about it because of what I thought it would do to my career, and the way I thought it would affect the way my partners looked at me. To this day, it's still, I can still get that feeling, but I didn't want to be seen as weak and my thought in my head was, if I get help or ask for help, the guys that I work around are going to want to work with me. They're not going to want to back me up. And so for a long time, and at great damage to myself and my family, I didn't say anything. Well, I've never seen anything like that till the one I went to. I've never even heard of it, and I thought this is incredible. Like, I think one of the things, like having retreats and bringing people in, the biggest impact that I've had in my recovery are, therapy and stuff, but talking to people who have been through it, and talking to officers that have been through what I've been through, or people trying to get sober, and so when I think couples come out, and it's really cool because I've never seen anything like it with couples, right? And then, so if you have people come in and share their experience, I think that greatly helps. And the thought of doing like peer training with them is phenomenal. Because like I was saying earlier, when the job's over, when that badge is laid down, when that gun is down, when you turn that uniform in, the department's gone, your department's gone, and your family's going to be there. And so, to me, it's the only thing that matters. The only thing I care about is my wife and my family. And I think that having these gives you a better shot at number one, being okay. But I think too, it'll help your marriage and your family, and it'll build a stronger relationship. Because like I said, when the badge is gone, you're left at home, and you're with the people that have loved you and supported you. It's a good way, I think, to show that that you really want to work hard for your family, not just bringing home a paycheck. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to expect at all. They were phenomenal questions. They were one after another, and we could probably sat in there for hours. And one of the biggest, I think, the best parts was my wife was there, and so the other wives got to ask her what it's like, because we talked about kind of my story, but they got to ask another wife, and I think the power of bringing groups together to share personal experiences is without measure. Like that was great. We could have sat in there. I guarantee, if we could have sat in there for 8 hours, and the conversation would have never stopped. Because a lot of times our wives are scared. They don't know because we don't talk to them, right? So they have a lot of unknowns, and so when they have the opportunity to talk to a wife who's willing to open up, it was just one after another, and it was phenomenal questions. And you can tell, I was almost a little scared for the guys, but I tell you, it's what I saw in the faces of the husbands and the wives during those was unbelievable, and I didn't expect it, honestly. I just thought it was phenomenal. I think the best thing that you could do with your spouse is not be on. I mean, you don't have to be honest and tell them every detail, but I think opening a line of communication where you can express, hey, I've had a really bad call, it's really affected me, to where they know what's going on with you. Because the truth is, my family had zero idea what was going on with me because I just didn't tell them. But you're right, like my spouse now did not know me during my police days, but she deals with the PTSD, and we are very open. I will have some visions about things, and she'll see me staring off into space, and the first thing I do now is tell her what's going on. And I would never have done that. Never in a million years have done that. And she's like, she'll be like, you're looking off, and I'm like, or I will do it when she's not home, and it scares me, and the first thing I do is send her a text, hey, this is happening right now. And so, but it's cool, it's like, I have that support now, so it's pretty cool. And the spouses are great, but if you don't want to do that with your spouse, and there's going to be people who don't want to do that. That's fine, but you need to talk to somebody. You need to have somebody that you can talk to. I can't remember any case where me and my partner sat down with each other and talked about how it made us feel. This is not the culture. It's not what we do. We go get a beer, or we make fun of each other, or that kind of stuff. But we never sit there and be like, hey man, that really bothered me. I can't think since from childhood ever heard any police officer do that. And that's okay as long as you have that outlet somewhere, because that stuff builds up and it's not going anywhere. And the more it builds, the more it affects you, the more it affects your family, and it can kill you.